Oh, neat. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. I think live. Cool. I have no idea if I'm. Let's see. Let's just make sure. All right. 0 are watching. Excellent. It's all together now. Okay, great. Great. I'm going to finish watching this episode of the Transformers live stream, and maybe no other BS will happen today, but I doubt it. Okay.
So you've seen images of this, so again, appreciate your patience, but now we have the Hasbro design with Evan. So, Evan, please.
It's Megatron. It's 86 Megatron. I know everybody's been waiting for this guy for quite a while. Really happy that we're finally gotten him out there. Yuga-san did an absolutely fantastic job on the design. It really just all came together in the end. I don't know. Where do I even begin? What are your questions?
Okay, 1 second. I gotta close this. Why is the media volume still up? All right, we're gonna go back. We're gonna come back into it.
You'll never look at Reboot the same way after this 19 minutes. 29. You'll never look at Reboot the same way after Hasbro goals 315K subscribers. Share and list 8 items. Live chat out of list. You'll never look.
Oh, good.
12 Transformers Studio Series. 12 minutes 30. Hasbro goals 315.
All right, we got rid of the live chat.
The interview at last year's Comic-Con. This is a discussion that's been around for goodness, probably decades at least.
A couple years. Ever since I've been doing like San Diego Comic-Cons, we've always gotten the question of blaster or tank. And I've always been very upfront that he will always be a tank.
There.
Just because we can't.
Legal. It is a legal toy guidelines. I mean, that's about as a.
Okay, we've already covered this part.
There's a lot that you could hide in there, and we didn't want to give him like a monstrous backpack, which we've been doing. And yeah.
Okay, monstrous backpack. We covered that.
It's very impressive. I know
You hounding me every year. It's like, hey, let's do 86 Megatron. It's like, hold.
There's a plan.
There's a plan for 86 Megatron.
Sold, and we showed that we were going to do all 5.
Yes.
At leader scale. And obviously, this was done by Hasui-san over at Takara.
Okay.
So it's freaking fantastic.
We're back to where we left off. They're talking about Grimlock.
I know that you all have been asking us.
Sorry, there has been technical difficulties today, but we are getting it all fixed and put back together. Thank you all so much for watching and enjoying my crazy channel. This is 86 Grimlock. We talked about him earlier. He's awesome. Now,
he's back. Yes, I mean, of course, comes with Wheelie.
It does come with Wheelie. It comes with this blaster, and then that kind of wraps up our leader set.
Yeah, that's leader for Studio.
Oh, it comes with the Wheelie again. No, that useless Transformer. Because the core class Wheelie was so much better. Maybe he'll come with the core class one. That'd be cool.
Yeah, love anytime that we can get a figure that's in super high demand to get them back out at retail. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. Again, this is us looking at like, wow, there's a lot of demand for this figure.
Yep, and trying to listen and trying to just meet that demand.
Absolutely.
When we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But okay, on to Voyagers.
I think we're gonna go reverse order. Megatron kind of
he set the scene.
setting the setting. Yeah, exactly.
No, we're on the Voyagers now. Let's see what new Voyagers they have to announce.
2 for our final wave in Voyager. Evan's grabbing those right now, and that is going to be, which one do you want to do first?
We're gonna start with Thundercracker.
Thundercracker. So thank you for grabbing all of the Seekers. Of course,
well, wanted to show them all
collection. So of course, this is War for Cybertron, Voyager scale, Thundercracker.
Oh, we got my favorite Seeker, Thundercracker. That's awesome.
Real classic blue.
Now I can have all 3 of them together. Where are my other 2?
Colors. My son actually was a Skywarp costume a couple years ago. He used to, the years change. They change every day.
You are reminding me of back when we would do some like fan and kid testing, and we were trying to see like what alt modes that kids were really drawn to.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids like would grab Thundercracker, and they would ask him why, and it's like because he's a blue jet. And everybody just and then was that was pretty much it. They weren't exactly sure who he was, but they were like, he's a blue jet.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, and he just looks.
It doesn't take much more than that.
Yeah.
So,
War for Cybertron.
Cool.
Thundercracker.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Thundercracker.
The other Seekers. Happy to complete this trio. Obviously, this was done by Tomo-san, who has done all of these. And something that we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that each head had a unique expression for all of them. And what we did is we actually
That's
followed
cool.
the in-game
Nugent,
models
he's so fun.
for some of their coloring.
He's just a great little
And what that
transformer.
means is, if you watch any of the cutscenes in the game, they actually all have very different eye colors, which I thought was very interesting. Instead of all the Seekers having red eyes, they all kind of very sad.
Oh, that was neat.
Thundercrackers
I didn't
are
notice
actually
that.
yellow, which was interesting. So we wanted to follow that, even though the art always shows them as red. Old game, they didn't exactly follow all the art when they were actually making the assets. We understand that working on movie stuff,
Yes, we
working on
do.
concept art constantly.
Awesome.
But happy to get that out there. He comes with essentially a expanded size version of like the classic machine gun, machine blaster, and then he has his
Oh,
melee
nice.
weapon that they all kind of came with. But yeah, here he is. There's Thundercracker.
Thundercracker.
Looks awesome in this.
Yep.
That's
How
awesome.
do you? I know we're talking about character selections all the time. How do you choose the rollout of the Seekers? Have we always done Starscream first?
Sometimes. I think Starscream's always the guarantee because he's
Of course.
the seeker that everybody
Yeah,
knows.
Starscream's always the
Like,
start.
name-wise, it's like, oh, that's Starscream. He's the jet. Blue is my favorite color, so I would always lean towards Thundercracker starting. People love Skywarp because black and purple. You can't
Yes.
beat that color combination.
Yeah,
and
that's a
then people
awesome
just
color
love Starscream,
combination.
right? But more often than not,
But I like
Starscream
Thundercracker's
usually lead
character
the way
more than I
since
like
he's the leader of
Skywarp.
the Seekers. But yeah, here you go. You can complete your trio now. Yeah, is there anything else before we move on to our next Voyager?
No, I'm good
Ooh.
if you're good.
Yeah,
What new
I'm definitely
Voyager?
good. Obviously, he
Please
still
be a
has
new
the
mold.
swapping mechanic that the rest of them have because it's
Please
a War
be
for
a new
Cybertron
mold.
figure, so they can swap out their own for their weapon. And yeah, I think that kind of covers him. So we'll move on to a piece of Devastator.
A piece of Devastator, my
Oh!
Decepticon.
Really?
Mhm.
Any particular
It's
reason
a piece
why?
of Devastator.
Cement mixer.
It's Mixmaster.
A classic 80s cement mixer. Exactly.
You're talking about
Designs got
Mixmaster.
weird and turned everything around. I still get confused when I see him on the street, and it's like, oh, is it driving backwards? No. But yeah, here we go. Here's Mixmaster, Voyager scale. So yeah, I know that there were some questions on why are some of them Voyager, why
Yes.
are some of them Deluxe. Mixmaster
Good
is
job,
a Voyager
Starscream.
because he's one of the feet, so we had to build in Ratchet so that he could have an ankle tilt when he becomes Devastator. So that's definitely one of the reasons. Obviously, all the Constructicons were done by Hisui-san and Takara Tomy,
Hisui-san.
who also worked on
I need to meet
the
Hisui-san one
previous
day.
version of Devastator. So taking a lot of learnings from that, putting them in here. It's a fantastic figure. He's a lot of fun. I hope you all.
Oh, I
Enjoy.
hope they got the Mixmaster
it's-
correct.
Like I said, I love this one. Yeah. And to get them, again, just all in 1 year, still incredibly excited. I'm still waiting on my Commander Voyager 2-pack to get to my house. Should be very, very soon.
Oh,
I know he's out there. Oh, yeah. No, I know he's out there, and so we see.
Yeah, I hope
obviously,
mine shows
lots
up
of
next
pieces
month.
You guys are already collecting, so really excited
Please
to
don't
see
show
that.
up this month.
I think no surprise that Devastator was going to be a huge hit with the fans.
Yep.
So really excited to get this out there. Again, the patience that you've shown to wait until this point is impressive. But we're finally getting them out here. Do you want to get the other guy?
Yeah, let's just jump right to
Yeah,
it, and
let's
then we'll just-
let's straight to us. I know there's been some images online of Scrapper, but also Devastator. So let's bring out Scrapper. And can you?
You want to put them next to each other?
Yeah, and can you talk about? 'Cause I see on the fan channels a lot of conversation on the scales, and it seems like all fans understand scale is not like Deluxe equals 4 inches and Voyager equals.
Not anymore.
Can you
Yeah.
kind of go into a little explanation on how you determine scales and really what it's really more the price
Yeah,
point. It's
this
not
is
even
kind of
really
interesting.
necessarily the height of the figure or the size of the figure. Like Bumblebee's a really good example with Deluxe, where he's typically smaller, but then where you're able to have like more deco and more accessories.
It is true. When we bump it up to Voyager, we have more tooling available towards us, which is usually what we need for internals on a lot of like these figures. So that's one of the big differences between like Mixmaster and Scrapper, Scavenger.
Sorry, I said Scrapper.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I have a weird dyslexic thing where I always mix them up as well. But yeah, thank you. So one of the reasons, obviously, then is, as I said before, Mixmaster has a ratchet actually built into the side of his waist. And that's because when he becomes Devastator, he needs that to support the full body and might of 5 other robots combined onto him. Which, actually, speaking of...
Yeah, let's bring him out. Bring him out.
Yeah. Here we go. We have our completed Devastator right here.
You still haven't covered
Mighty Devastator.
Scavenger.
But yeah, I think he came together quite well.
Bring me my favorite bot, Scavenger.
Awesome.
I want to know.
Just a cat, it has you in silence. Just...
No, I mean, it's just...
No, my biggest question was does the cement mixer spin?
Like,
or does it like
obviously the other
become
one's
part
bigger,
of the
but this one
transformation?
with
Very
modern
intrigued by that.
articulation, modern, like, I'm certainly a sucker for the cartoon animation accuracy. I know there's... Depends on who you ask and what they're looking for, but I think you guys just did such an incredible job, and it scales so well. Do you mind grabbing actually Optimus? I have Optimus right.
You've got Optimus?
Oh yeah. Let's read this again to show the scale, which is like critical, because again, there's times where we have so many conversations about scale, and I know you are such a purist when it comes to like 86's scale, and I know the fans appreciate. And then you can see that actually, do you mind grabbing remote too? I mean, might as well we have them show. Really the kind of...
Oh, I should have brought Sludge so we can pick him up and throw him
with the eyes out of his...
Yeah. Oh, God.
No.
I did not understand what was happening when I was a kid watching that scene. Funny story about Devastator is many years ago when Tomy came to visit us, and we were talking about what was going to happen in the future, and we were like, oh, so what are some ideas that you're thinking about? We were out to dinner, and I was just talking with Hisui-san, and I was like, oh, I think Devastator would be very fun to do.
Yeah.
Before we even kicked it off, the next time they came and visited, he brought a block model, and it was just like, oh okay, you've been thinking about
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly.
Yeah, and everybody's reaction was, whoa, Devastator, and everybody got super excited about it, and it got everybody on board,
Nice.
because we were still kind of hesitating if we were going to do it all in 1 year or space it out from 2 years. Seeing the block model in person when they brought it, it shifted to, we have to do it all in 1 year. So,
Yeah.
it's very exciting. It's
All
just
1 year.
fun to do a combiner for 86 and Studio Series.
And that was one of the differences from Metasaur, where, if I remember correctly, you developed Devastate all the pieces together, which is what you're just talking about, versus kind of in stages previously.
Normally, when we design combiners, everything is usually started all at once.
Yep.
In very rough form factors, a block model. Metasaur was also developed like that, but at the end, the final piece had to be moved out of wave due to some logistics stuff that came up, but that happens. But this one, we made sure everybody in 1 year. Well, yeah,
Nice.
it's Devastator. I'm pretty happy with him, and I hope you all are as well, and I hope you all have fun building and playing with him.
Any more details on Scavenger?
What's up, Cream?
Just want to
Who's
make
a good
sure we
queen?
don't just kind of go
Who's a
straight
good
to
queen?
Devastator. But if there's
I
anything on Scavenger you want to highlight?
He's an
You're
excavator.
like giving me headbutts.
I mean, he's a solid figure. He has all the standard articulation that he needs to have.
Yes.
For a deluxe, it's one of those things where when you're talking about the individual Constructicons, I immediately go to, well, they make Devastator, so let's talk about Devastator. Yeah.
I want to talk
No,
about
he just-
Scavenger.
I hope you all enjoy him.
And to just say again, I know we've talked about this with fans a bunch. We really are encouraging you to collect these this year in 2025. I can speak transparently. What we've said, I mean, goodness, at least for a year now,
Not doing a gift set.
There's no plans for a gift set for 26 or 27 right now.
Yeah.
We are knee deep in 2027 planning, and we are not planning a box set for 2026 or 2027. And that's intentional. That's not to say that we'll never do one, but again, we want to make sure that, there's
No.
exclusivity in the year, but also some
Sega.
excitement, so then we can move on to other combiners. Obviously, we've already talked about Bruticus is coming in Age of the Primes, and we'll kind of talk about some combiners later on in this fan stream, actually. But just wanted to put that out there again, because I feel like, well, I heard them say this, but I don't believe that's like...
I know they're going to do
I
the
can tell you again,
Protectobots.
there's no plans for a box set in 2026, 27. We'll do this for the future. We do love our G2. There's all sorts of different
It's
options.
surprising
Obviously,
you're not going to do a
toy
box set.
accuracy
You
that
always
we
do a
talked
box
about
set
as
for
well, but-
combiners.
Oh, if there's anybody that knows how to redeco, it's the Transformer team.
The Christmas
So
box
yes,
set is always
redeco's
just
fine.
a mainstay.
Just maybe not right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, shall we move on to the other deluxes?
Let's do it. Okay, so that wraps up the last wave of Voyager. So again, that's Mixmaster from 86, Thundercracker from War for Cybertron, Thank you so much for always remembering to bring the other figures for scale.
I try. Here and there. So where'd
He's
you
a
like to
good
be
cat.
next?
I mean, your call. Well, I mean, so we just did Scavenger. We want to do Alita 1
We
since
didn't
we've
really
already
do
had our
Scavenger.
pre-order.
Certainly.
So here's obviously Transformers 1, Alita 1. So we launched this pre-order, goodness, I think 6 months ago.
Yes,
Movie
with
here.
a prototype model.
With a
Wouldn't
prototype
stand up.
model, painted model. So
She
this
has
is-
heels. I promise you. She will stand. Yeah, that was great. The prototype model that we had for that stream back then it had been used for the stop motion animation.
Yes.
They had drilled into the feet and they'd removed the heels. And it was just like, oh, come on,
Oh,
please.
Such a scramble to get the model ready for that pre-order. But here she is.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm so pleased how they did her character in the film.
Yes.
Really, really well done. Really like her, and glad that she's getting kind of a moment
Yeah,
to shine. But yeah, talk to us about the design.
certainly. So worked with Ajima-san over at Takara Tomy on this. Came out freaking amazing.
Yeah.
She has a very interesting form factor. She's very spindly and all leg, which is guy. We gave her a tracker blaster, which is like that generic blaster that you kind of see everybody using in the film. She can use it like all the other characters can use it, and she also comes with the mining jetpack that they have.
I was just looking at that.
Yeah, and we made sure that this jetpack can actually connect to Megatron, Bumblebee, Optimus, so it works with all those characters as well. She has great articulation. She's got knees, ankles. She's got her wonderful bicep ball joints as well.
Can you show off the moving heels?
Oh, what?
Bicep
the heels
ball
down here?
joints?
Like, what the-
Weird.
So
That was just such a nice touch.
Oh, so that everybody believes me when I say big heels? Yeah, I can absolutely do that. She actually has a really unique transformation that I don't think is something that we've done before.
Why
that
did she need
I found
heels?
absolutely fascinating when Ajima-san sent it to us. So her rear wheels actually fold in half when she transforms, and it becomes her chest. It's very fascinating.
Oh, wow.
So the wheels actually fold, but then they can still rotate. So it's,
Well, that's
it's very
cool.
unique. It's something that I don't think we've done before.
I actually may
definitely don't
get
recognize
her
that.
just for that
Oops.
particular point of the transformation.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was
15.
really interesting when he sent it to me, and I was like, I don't think we've ever done that before. So really cool. She's got some nice, wonderful tech inside her, and I hope you all have fun collecting the whole cast now. So that's the 4 members.
Yep.
We've got the whole team there.
Yeah.
And then-
we just talked about obviously Starscream. So
Well, yeah. Should I just go grab? You know what?
yeah, might as well.
Okay, we'll bring him out.
So this is something. This is really the going off script here a little bit, but this is obviously makes sense. So this is actually what stage? What stage is this?
This is final.
This is final.
Yeah.
Look at the rest.
No, you're mixing up.
I'm mixing
It's
up.
okay. It's okay.
But so again, like obviously understand how much you love in Transformers 1 as we did as well. I remember when we got the early screen, we were very nervous walking in, and then we walked out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We love this, and our fans are gonna love this. So obviously
Yeah.
Transformers 1 is gonna continue to be a lineup that we continue to flesh
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Of course, as you were just talking about, the favorite, the Seekers, the
Yep.
Leader Seekers, Starscream here,
Well, the High Guard from
the High Guard.
He's essentially the leader of the Fallen High Guard, which is a very interesting story beat. So yeah, worked with Kunihiro-san on this figure. Obviously, if we're doing one Seeker, there will be other Seekers. However, the designers in the movie decided to make every Seeker unique, which is great for people who love the Seekers. As a toy designer who's used to just redecorating, it's a lot of work.
One mold to rule them all.
Oh, not anymore.
Yeah,
Not anymore. So expect that at some point in the future. So people are probably interested. It's like, what's going on with this blaster? When Starscream transformed into his Tetrajet mode, they based it very much off of like the Bumblebee movie design, which was based off of obviously the original Tetrajet
Right.
from the '84 series. So we had like these kind
Bumblebee.
of protrusions down here, and transformation-wise, when we were trying to figure it out, we was like, okay, what do we do with those? Oh, okay, we'll make them pop up and be a blaster. Kunihiro's absolutely brilliant. When he was digging into the weeds of this, he was like, okay, and then when we do this, this, and this, we can partial this later to make this. And it's like, yes, that's wonderful. That's lovely. Thank you. But yeah, made sure to get all his
That's
colors
awesome.
in there, like to kind of do the best I could to reflect how he looked in the film. But yeah,
No, it looks awesome as you mentioned. More Seekers to come.
more
of
Seekers
course.
to come, of course.
And we will not be just doing pure redecos. We will be making sure that the sculpts match what you see in the film.
Yes.
Evan will be doing that.
Yeah. It makes it hard to get them all out at once.
Yes.
That's all. That's
Yes.
the issue.
Yeah. They have to parcel them out, and but obviously, full confidence these will look amazing, and
That's
you
awesome.
guys will get that done. So. Again, really excited to get more Transformers 1. Again, be patient with us. We only have so many slots per year,
Right.
so we want to make sure that we have love for, of
So
course,
2
86,
Transformers 1 characters,
1, which
86
accidental, but really good
Scavenger.
segue into our next and last deluxe for the last wave of the year. And this is for Bayverse.
Thank God.
Concept series.
My favorite things that you brought into the line. This is where we were talking about the fans.
Hit and miss.
Please dive deep into why she looks this way, why she's a McLaren MP412C. Thank you.
You got it in one go. That's great.
And it is a fully licensed McLaren vehicle. Thank you very much to the McLaren team. They were incredible partners to work through this. I
want a McLaren
here. Yep. But please talk to us
Widowmaker?
about color choice, the design choice, the history from the film, and then why this toy is the toy.
So, I guess I'm going to start with worked with Kunihiro-san at Takara Tomy on this. So, absolutely brilliant transformation. It's a lot of fun. So, in Transformers Age of Extinction, it is known that this McLaren
MP412C.
Thank you. It shows up in the film and is a KSI drone of some kind. So we never actually see what that robot mode looks like. And we had concept art for what was at the time called Widowmaker, which Widowmaker ended up then becoming Stinger in the film.
Yes.
So they changed designs, they changed
Totally
direction.
boring.
That happens. And we loved that concept art quite a bit. And we wanted to bring it into our toy line. So we were like, oh, well, she was obviously red in the concept art because that's what Stinger's colors were. So we're just like, oh, let's just color grade this. Oh, look, orange. It's close enough. And we think this turned out great. We gave her a little half cape on the back because that's kind of what her concept art showed as well. And it actually just kind of fit really well with her form factor. A lot of her concept art showed her leaning incredibly more feminine, and there's not a lot of female Decepticon representation in live action, unless you count like Alice, and then you go into the Bumblebee movie. Pretenders, I don't know if they count. But happy to get her out here, and I think she's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I want to say, goodness, is this? So we obviously had concept art, Megatron from Bumblebee.
Yep. We did Sunstreaker.
Oh, you're right.
In the Bumblebee movie. Every once in a while, we just try to trickle them in.
Yeah, and so I've seen fans share this concept art for years, and so that is now that we've started to dive into the concept art and see, especially with Bumblebee Megatron, seeing how much you guys respond to that figure, and of course that first 3 minutes of Bumblebee is peak Transformers media. So we'll continue. As long as you all still like them, we will continue to dive into the vaults for concept art for not just live action, but also 86, Transformers 1, really everything. Really, it's just kind of a lot of untapped potential. Like, oh, why'd they cut this? But this guy recorded voice lines from 86, but why? I mean, I'm thinking of Inferno and things like that. So definitely something that we love, and it seems like the response has been really positive, so a lot more to come.
This is cool.
This is, again, when you get the female Decepticon representation is really cool, and then I guess super cool.
I know I said Decepticon, but she is technically a KSI drone, but they're taken over by Galvatron, so then it's a gray area. It turns into a gray area. But yeah,
so sad it wasn't KIS.
She just turned out to be a really fun figure.
And
we don't have a lot of orange representation just overall in Transformers.
The only thing comes to mind is like Huffer's got a decent amount of orange. That's funny. I hadn't really thought about that.
Okay. Write in the comments.
Exactly.
Your favorite orange.
Oh, she's orange? That's
like
awesome.
100 of them.
We don't get enough orange characters.
No, that's fine. Give us your engagement.
So that wraps up the Studio Series reveals for pre-order. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern today, everywhere. So again, we're doing something.
Well,
first time.
Before that, do we want to do timelines real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we obviously have the first what we call timelines multi-pack with Optimus and Starscream. Did that pre-order a few months ago. This has been really. kind of Evan's passion project, taking inspiration from other 90s toy lines where you get your top 4 characters in all sorts of different ages and times and different, modes. So we really love to get the top characters in all sorts of different modes and bring a freshness to, of course, these guys right here.
Cool.
So this one is Megatron and Bumblebee. We are going to have quantities available at San Diego Comic-Con this year. Goodness, in a month. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And we'll have more details on the pre-order date as well, but these will be at San Diego Comic-Con. I wanted to make sure we show them off as the 2025 set.
Ooh.
So Evan, take it away.
Yeah, this was obviously something that I had been trying to get going for a couple of years, actually.
Yeah.
It didn't actually start with this, but it was just kind of pulling from comic books and things like that, different representations of these characters and how they've shown up. And then someone was like, what
super
about
excited.
Steel? And it's like, yes.
Do you like trains, Evan?
Just a little
Yeah,
bit. Just a little bit. Once or twice, my parents might have said that if somebody wasn't a train, I didn't love them. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's changed.
No, probably not. But yeah, just these are fantastic designs.
love Hasbro to
Finally
do
get them
Raiden.
out there. If fans are super into them, hopefully we can dig more into this universe because there are some fantastic other character designs that show up.
Shockwave.
Yeah, everybody brings
Everybody
Shockwave.
brings a Shockwave.
But yeah, would love to get them out there. As you said,
I mean,
Megatron,
Shockwave
Bumblebee,
seems
available
cool.
First
I
time
like that
at
steamboat.
San Diego.
See now, buy now at San Diego Comic-Con. These two, Optimus and Starscream, are available for pre-order right now.
Yep.
And that's a Pulse exclusive. This will be San Diego. That's not our San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. That's the Void Rivals
Alright.
pack, which you guys have already seen.
Yep.
But really excited about this one. How did you land on Hearts of Steel? And then second, do you think we should do another age of something for 26?
I mean, we are.
Cheesy question, but
I think it'd been awesome if you had
what can you tell
included
us
an
about
engine
26?
into one of these trains.
Can I tell you about 26? Or am I allowed to tell them about 26? I guess, hey, it's coming. It's going to be the same 4 characters again,
Yeah.
but in a different theme.
yeah.
I do want to say that these 4 were done by Ajima-san. I just wanted to make sure to get that out there.
Kojima-san?
Over at Takara Tomy, which is fantastic. Of course, they're always fantastic.
I love the Megatron.
Yeah, the Megatron turned out great.
What does he become?
Yeah, they turned out so good. But yes, we will be continuing
What do
to
they
dig
become?
into universes.
I know
I will
Bumblebee
say
becomes a
next
little
year's theme
train.
is actually a little bit more original.
I was just going to say that. So obviously we had the comic books that you were referencing off of, and so
Yeah.
there's story and lore that matches these. The next set of 4, so yes, more timelines are coming.
Yeah.
And it'll be very similar. Another multi-pack of Optimus and Starscream, another multi-pack of Megatron and Bumblebee. Would love to hear, number one, what you think of me, and then would love to hear, like, oh my gosh, if they're going to do this, you should do Age of fill in the blanks.
It would actually be fun if you would comment and tell us what themes you think would be fun to do.
Because this is really like white space lore that for 26 you're creating, which
Yes.
I think, and I know that you guys love new all forms.
I honestly
new
don't know
stories,
enough
which I
about
think
the
Shoot
weird
Bar White
timeline
and
stuff.
Surprise is doing so well. Obviously, Mark's designs are insane, but also just adding lore to, a lot of things like, this is my favorite theory, this is my favorite, and then like Mark is really kind of putting flesh to the bone on this is what Onyx Prime looks like, this is what my Cronos Prime. So this is, I love what you've been doing on the timeline stuff. So more to follow on those, as I mentioned, available for pre-order right now, and then these will be on site at San Diego Comic-Con, and then we'll give you further
That's cool.
details on when the actual
You can actually buy them at San Diego Comic-Con. That's
Sounds
fun.
good to me. So
I love the packaging. Packaging
Yes.
is awesome. I know I've started to see people in these at their houses, the first multi-pack, and you guys have really appreciated the packaging. Again, Amy.
no, this was Mario.
Oh gosh,
Amy does
it
the
is
next
Mario.
one. So this was Mario. Yeah, thank you, Mario.
Yeah.
But this
First
look
name Mario,
amazing.
last name Mario.
And
Mario.
What Amy has done for 26 is like.
Yes, it's gonna blow people's
Oh my
minds.
gosh. Yeah, I want t-shirts made with that art. So more to follow there.
Yeah.
So thank you for the reminder on timelines. And I think potentially the highlight of the fan stream is what we've got next.
Yes, I think so as well.
So this is something new. Again, I'll say this is kind of coming off of the learning on being late on Megatron.
Yeah.
Copa.
Really
With
late.
this one, we are going to show you, as I mentioned earlier, the very first looks at 2026 Studio Series.
So we're gonna start with, I think, one of the people's biggest requests, Arachnid.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how tall she was.
Well, she's a deluxe, and I know I'm gonna get comment flame for that. Her deluxe, but I'm sorry. At the time when we were developing her, from the height chart that made the most sense. But now when we watch the movie, I don't know if they're angling her to look a little bit bigger, but it made sense at the time. That's how I'm going to word it. But
I mean, she's thin,
yeah,
but she's significant. Like, I think if you had shown this to me and just you give me your best bet, I think I might have. It's like a deluxe plus. Let me grab actually Star Screen. Yep. To give a, obviously want to always show the scale we can within universes.
Oh, so it's from Transformers 1.
yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Working with Ajima-san on Arachnid, we wanted to make sure to get her out there. She has movable legs that are on ball joints, so they can manipulate and go all around. And I guess I should state, these are gray models.
Yes,
That's what we are
yes,
showing
thank
off
you.
right now. For 2026, we're kind of giving you a sneak peek. This is essentially our first kind of prototype that we make, and we also like base instructions off of these models. We wanted to bring them in and just show them off instead of just dropping an image.
Yep.
But yeah, and I have to say the wizardry that Ajima-san worked to make this happen. Like, people who have been watching our streams, there was a joke I made about going back and forth with, it's gotta be a Voyager. No, we can get it to deluxe. This was her. That was where that interaction was coming from. She somehow still has a moving propeller, even though her legs merged together to kind of form that in the back. We did sort of had to make up her legs a little bit. In the movie, she just has, I almost want to call those the prosthetic legs where it's like a flexible material. She doesn't have a heel. For a toy, we had to give her a heel so that she can support herself. Yeah, she ended up being a fantastic figure. She ends up having butterfly articulation just because of the way that she transforms.
Butterflies.
So she has a bit of extra posability in her arms.
Butterflies are always a nice
obviously,
joint to
it's a
include.
gray model, so it is a little bit loose. The joints will be tighter in the end. Yeah, I hope you all kind of enjoy this little sneak peek that we have going on here.
I remember seeing her on screen for the first time. Like, that's a character we should absolutely do. I just don't know how that is possible. And then obviously you and the engineers figure it out, and this looks incredible, especially the deluxe scale. Like,
Oh, it's all Ajima.
so
Like,
so cool.
He figured this out. Like, we went back and forth a bit, but he had all the answers. Yeah, of course.
As they always do.
Yeah, as they always do. But yeah, so first look at Arachnid, and obviously no pre-orders today.
Nope, this is just the first peek of 2026. Again, we want you to get the first looks from us.
Ooh,
Yeah,
man.
Yes,
so
we do.
we're trying to always improve and listening to your comments and responding to it, because again, we don't want theories. We want you guys to know, oh, no, I know exactly what Arachnid's going to be because I saw it on the fan stream. And it
Go,
is a
Arachnid,
drop scale,
go.
and the drum does spin and all those things. So,
That's cool.
so
Have a
yeah,
spinning
this is
propeller.
awesome. But
Well, then I guess
we
we're
have.
I don't even know what they turn
one
into, but they'll have a spinning
more,
propeller.
Gray model show, although this is
well, it's gonna be
Great.
available and an ET1.
which I love the easy ones because it's also like, oh my gosh, I kind of want them in those colors.
Yeah.
So of course this is Alpha Trine. Again, this is also from Transformers 1. Take it away, Evan.
Yep. So this is a Voyager, also done by Ajima-san.
Ooh.
Give me one moment while
They're going to get an Voyager of
get him
Alpha
to stand up
Trion.
because it's a gray model.
That's
there we go.
exciting. Because
So,
I really like the
obviously,
Sentinel Prime.
the
That is a
Wyzen
really
teacher
nice
that
figure.
also has to
And I should probably
maybe
just
not
talk
make
about
it to
him
the end
this
of the
week.
film. Spoiler alert. Who gives everybody their cogs? We wanted to make sure to get him in there. He was monstrous compared to the rest of the bots in there, so that's why he is a Voyager scale. He turns into a unicorn lion, which is very interesting, of course, and has some history in Transformers as a redeco and a bunch of weirdness there that they were pulling from. Happy to get it in there. He does have the sculpted battle damage and the rust and the grind.
There we go.
kind of
There's
like
Sentinel Prime and
the
his.
broken down aspects that you see him in when he is brought back to life in the film.
I'll show the back where you can really see some of the details you put on there.
I
That was
really
one of
like this figure.
like design flourishes that we wanted to make sure to bring into this. They're really separated from the kids line main toy, which was just done clean. But yeah, obviously we used the movie CAD for this. When in lion mode, he will have an opening jaw and all that fun stuff. We did have to turn his electro tail into like a whip for him, just because you needed something to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice figure.
No, it's great, and again, gray model EP1.
Gray model EP.
Colors will match film, don't worry.
Nice.
But again, in the spirit of transparency and giving you guys the first looks, again, so
That's
again,
exciting.
this
That's
first
cool.
peek into one of our first Voyagers for 2026. Of course, pre-order details to follow in the future, but we're gonna start. If you guys like it, I have a strong suspicion you do. We'll continue to show off more of these early models, even if it's not just for pre-orders, just to give you an early look, and just kind of see what Evan's cooking up.
Well, and Mark and everybody else.
And Mark and everybody, just give you these just kind of first peeks. So hopefully you guys really appreciate this. Those are the only 2 gray models we have.
Well, we're gonna
for today.
Yeah, we're gonna pace things out.
Yes.
As we do
Pace
more
things
streams in the
out.
future, we'll reveal more. We're not
Yeah.
gonna reveal everything in 2026 just yet.
And we still got to save some news for Comic-Con month, so there'll be some more news, especially on 2026 product and exclusives at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And then something else kind of new,
Okay.
I think. Again, we did our fan stream a couple weeks ago with
Ooh.
Mark on Age of the Primes, and I asked you specifically to please comment on our Commander price point. Really appreciate all the comments. All sorts of different things.
Ooh.
I think one of the biggest things that I took away from it was, please, more combiners, which no surprise there. The 2 that I saw in a not mathematical dated way, I just kind of looked at the comments and like the names that kept popping up, Defensor and Predaking seemed to be, and it was definitely some Real Racer love.
Oh, okay.
There was all sorts of love out there, but
So all
those,
eras.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Defensor.
so it really seemed like Defensor and Predaking seemed to be the top 2. Thoughts on those?
Everybody likes the Protectobots.
Yes.
And it's interesting because we have Bruticus coming. I guess the Protectobots and Bruticus are kind of like the
Yeah.
opposing forces
They're
there, so
opposing
that makes a lot of
forces.
sense. I love them. My favorite combiner when I was a kid was the Technobots. Because I told you that before this. My online handle when I was a kid was Computron. I'm like,
Yes, I love that. I'm glad you
unlucky.
shared that. I love that.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things. Because then you hear like voice chat and people are like, Computron, like they didn't know how to say the name, but it's like, oh, you uncultured swine.
Why doesn't anybody understand me?
Yeah. Rail Racer would be amazing. Each piece would be a Titan.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is monstrous.
Yes.
But that would be a lot of fun. Predaking is also huge. Obviously, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because what was like 5-6 years ago was the last time we did Predaking? Maybe even longer ago.
He was a Titan box set back in the day.
Yeah.
And they made him
Yeah.
like just as big as Devastator, maybe a little bit bigger. But yeah, he would be very fun to do. Obviously, there will be more combiners
Yes.
coming.
More to come.
We love them. I don't know if we can confirm or deny other than Bruticus. But going forward, yes, please expect more combiners.
Yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
again, appreciate your comments and feedback. And a couple people were talking about, I made the comment, which I'm honestly quoting you and Mark, where we don't ever like to leave a collection incomplete.
Yep.
So if we do one Seeker, we want to do it, of course.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, we only have so many slots, so much tooling per year, and we do our best to do kind of a inch deep, mile wide on the fandoms, recognizing that really kind of every content for Transformers is somebody's G1, whether it's Beast Wars, obviously G1, even Transformers 1 with, I think a really
So
good
many
generation
products.
was
So many
so
Transformers.
back-to-back movie years,
Yeah.
so hopefully that's really resonated as well.
Cool.
So talking about collections, two names that come out very often that I see pretty regularly, especially when it comes to these things, because someone called me out, was like, Nate says he's going to complete every collection, but what about
Mudflap and Scoot?
Yes. Please
Mudflap.
talk us through that.
I think that's more of an eventuality. Right now, not so much. We bring it up every once in a while, and we put feelers out, like with like our greater team, and we're trying to see like what everybody's feeling. And every once in a while, it's just like, no, not yet. I'll never say never on this, though.
Absolutely.
I think it is an eventuality. I think we will get there eventually, just not right now.
Yeah.
I want that ice cream
You said
truck.
that very well, because this is different than the discussion on Megatron
It
being
is.
Blaster and tank mode, because that is a legal thing.
Yeah.
There's no gray area there. We just can't do it.
Yeah.
These guys is more, how did you describe it earlier? You said it's like an emotional thing. So we know there's strong opinions on just make the stinking collection, and then others people are like, no. But to wrap that up, for now, there are no plans. That is not a never.
Yeah.
We are fully, I think the biggest thing is we're fully aware that those are two gaping holes in the collection. So it's hopefully a potentiality, but we'll see again.
And it's one of the rare
probably every year
instances
kind
where
of
two robots
gauge
combine
the
together to
interest,
be a vehicle.
across the team.
It's not just us. It's
It's
also
awesome
Pixar
thing.
and everybody else asking.
I mean, the characters
So
were
It's an
really
eventuality.
bad,
It will
but
happen eventually.
the transformation
Yeah.
movie, really fun.
That's a good way to put it.
So thank you on that's great. And then the last comment that I saw and it struck out to me is again back to combiners.
Okay.
Monstructor.
Oh.
Monstructor.
I think fans realize that the pieces are out there. Yeah, I used those molds a couple times, but maybe he's coming, and maybe I promise you, he won't be dinosaurs.
Yes.
That's how I'll put that.
So yeah, so stay tuned on Monstructor.
Yep.
Potentially coming. Potentially coming.
Potentially coming.
But
Potentially.
appreciate that comment. And again, thanks for all the comments. We do read it. We definitely care about what you guys think.
Yeah, I
and how we're
appreciate
doing, how
you
the toys
guys
are doing, and of course,
for doing this.
that leads to actually our
This-
first. I think probably not ever, but at least on our fan stream, my first fan poll question.
Yeah.
This is.
Let's do it.
I stop by Evan's desk on a daily basis to just talk shop and throw ideas at him and just talk about what we're doing for years and certain designs and whatnot, which Evan is amazing to work with, as you guys know, especially those who have met him.
I'm amazed you can fit in the office with how much junk is in there sometimes. Everybody has to like crawl and shuffle in, and it's like, yeah, I know, I live here.
If only you didn't have so much secret stuff in there, I would love to get a cribs tour of your desk. But let's get to
the one room you've ever seen.
Yeah. So here is the question.
Yeah.
I have asked this to Evan. We've had this discussion. I'm not going to clue you into who's on which side. You're probably going to know it. But here is the question, and this is about as short as I could get it. So, do you want to see toys of characters from season 1 and 2 of the G1 cartoon that did not appear in the 86 movie in the Studio Series 86 segment?
Yes.
Is that too weird? Is that blasphemous? Is that awesome? Yes, please, because these guys were in the world. And I'm not talking concept art like Inferno where he's literally in the credits. I'm talking about...
Well, yeah, we've had this conversation many times because obviously there are different versions of the script. There are storyboards that show different characters and with scenes that got cut.
I think
It
yes.
always turned out to be a what is okay to show in Studio Series and label it Studio Series.
Yeah.
So that's why we're reaching out and asking all of you.
You may just want to make a
what do you all
separate
prefer? I'm
G1
assuming they want
line.
more. Everybody wants.
That's my hunch.
You could just make a G1
But
line,
again,
like
we-
Studio Series
please
86.
answer
But you
the
could call it
questions, just
Studio
simply
Series
yes or no.
G1. That would work out
We will
best.
certainly put that in our toolkit as far as what we have plans in the future. As I mentioned, we're knee deep in 2027 planning right now.
Yep.
We are, I don't have a percentage, but we're probably like 75% done with the 86 cast.
Yeah, that's probably
How
that's
much
a good
time is
number to
left?
put there. I know people have quoted a slightly right and wrong about saying we'll be done with 86 in 2026, and it's like, well, we'll just be reaching the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
Like that.
Oh.
There will be more. There's always more. I can mine
Alright.
deeper.
You only got a minute left.
There's no bottom.
This one animation cell, this
Yeah.
one interview back in 1986 that someone said, I recorded lines, but I got cut.
This one animation error.
But yeah, so please help us out there.
Yeah.
I say Studio
that's-
Series
I
G1
think
should
that's
be a
our
new
stream.
line.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the whole
That's
stream.
awesome.
So
Thank you
again,
for
1
joining me
p.m.
today,
Eastern
and sorry for the
today,
technical
All
difficulties.
the Studio Series, except for the gray models, are live for pre-orders.
Nope.
The timelines will be at San Diego Comic-Con. See now, buy now. More details to follow with that. Really excited to get these gray models out there. Really excited about the fan poll question.
Yeah.
I would be.
All right. There we go. Thank you all so much for watching and joining me today. I am sorry about the technical difficulties. There is a sleeping Cream. Do you have anything to add for today's live stream, Cream? What did you think of the live stream, Cream? Cream didn't think of anything. Big orange fluff ball. Let's see. Hi, Emily Roses. Yep. Lots of people said hi, but I couldn't access my camera. How many watching? Oh. Yes.